So what should you pick for your wedding cake cutting song? Should it be classic and timeless? Is modern and upbeat more appropriate? Would something romantic and sentimental be your thing? Or are you a country fan? The cake cutting song is more than background music. It sets a tone, enhances the atmosphere, and makes the moment memorable. You can turn this tradition into an unforgettable highlight by choosing a song that resonates with you and your partner and fits your wedding theme and energy.
Listen now and discover choosing the perfect wedding cake cutting song. These are Wedding Insider secrets for a stress-free, fun, and memorable day. Our podcast helps engaged couples navigate wedding planning complexities while addressing family expectations. We will guide you through the journey of creating the perfect wedding day without unnecessary stress. Get concise tips on budgeting, wedding party management, ceremony, reception planning, and more. Perfect. Anyone planning a wedding, all in 30 minutes or less. Trust us, you don't want to miss this.
Welcome to Stress-Free Wedding Planning, the podcast that will transform your wedding planning journey from chaotic to enchanting. Sal and Sam bring over 80 years of combined wedding expertise and exclusive insider information to the table. If you're recently engaged, feeling the pressure of wedding planning, struggling with family expectations, but still dreaming of a joy-filled wedding, you've come to the right place. Get ready to unveil the best-kept wedding secrets, discover practical tips and strategies, and learn life-changing lessons for a stress-free wedding. Your unforgettable wedding day awaits. We're here to take you on a transformative journey of love, laughter, and memories. So don't miss out on the podcast that just might change your life. This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam.
Learn more about our experience and journey to help with your stress-free wedding planning in the trailer or pilot of this podcast.
In today's edition, choosing the perfect wedding cake cutting song is brought to you in part by Clear Vision Productions and the Wedding Styles of Connecticut Wedding Shows. That's weddingstylesofct.com. But first, if you have a question or concern, go now to Facebook and join us on the Stress-Free Wedding Planning community and ask away. You could also join us on YouTube. We have a new channel. Just search for Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast, subscribe, and get it first.
Today, we're diving into choosing the perfect cake cutting song for your wedding. Whether it's a classic and timeless piece, these songs cover a range of genres and moods, ensuring that you can find the perfect track to match the tone of your celebration and make the cake cutting moment memorable. I want to start off things with making it very clear. There's one song you are not going to find on any of these lists from us today, and that is The Bride Cuts the Cake. I think Sam could agree. This is one that probably doesn't belong anywhere anymore. We remember in the early days where we could even have a song for, we had to help them sing it and get everyone singing the song. And then when we finally got the track, we're playing it and we're Farmer in the Dell. It was driving us crazy. So we started coming up with these alternative songs to help our clients choose something a little different, be a little fun or a little of anything. So let's start with classic and timeless. I got to tell you, Sugar Sugar by the Archies. Such a fun song. Everyone knows it, and everyone tends to have a lot of fun with it. Also, there's How Sweet It Is. That is definitely a classic. We've heard the James Taylor version many times, and even the Marvin Gaye version. But my favorite version, to be honest with you, is neither one of those. I like Michael Bublé's. It has a certain energy about it and a lot of fun. So something to take a listen to, see if you might like it too. Also, we have Sweetest Thing by U2, a very nice song. What I think you should always consider is lyrics of the song, too, if it's appropriate. Now, I found on a list they had Cake by the Ocean. Honestly, it's a very sexual song. If it's for you, great, but kind of consider this is not really considered an appropriate song in most cases. When it came out, this one, Sugar by Maroon 5, everyone had to have. It is a great song and works out great. Love and Marriage by Frank Sinatra. Back in the day, we used to play this a lot, especially when you had the show at the time, Married with Children. Everyone loved hearing this at the wedding. And another timeless favorite, The Turtles, Happy Together. Doesn't get any better than that.
I think, Sal, that a lot of listeners are not realizing or understand the problems that we went through 30 years or so ago when there were not that many cake cutting songs. And we used the song The Farmer in the Dell, which you can actually go to Google and YouTube and search it and listen to it. And that's what we would play as the cake cutting song. It's only because there have been a lot of other songs that we've used and we've told clients, look, you don't have to use that Farmer in the Dell, the bride cuts the cake. Pick a contemporary song because there's only going to be background music. So I would love for our listeners, go listen to the Farmer in the Dell, and after you've finished puking up and passing out, you'll be able to understand some of the trials and tribulations that we went through. But nevertheless, I think some of the great ones that you can choose would be Build Me Up Buttercup. I think that's a fantastic song for the cake cutting. Pour Some Sugar on Me from Def Leppard is definitely a great song. It's very high energy. Now, Weird Al Yankovic has a song called Eat It. It is a satire song made from Beat It, Michael Jackson's Beat It. And I think that came out in maybe 1987, 1988, somewhere around there. And it is one of the favorite songs that we used at the time instead of the traditional cake cutting song. Now, Beyonce's Love on Top, you may or may not know, not a big fan of Beyonce. If you like Love on Top, you can certainly use that. Michael Bublé, a lot of classic stuff from Michael. Everything works great. The Lumineers, Ho Hey, nothing I can say about that. It's a great song. And Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer, always a perfect choice. Now, there is a little note. If you're into classic R&B, there are two songs that you might want to use. I use these as what I call incidental pieces. So I would play them as the couple are walking towards the cake, and when the couple finish, when they're walking away to the cake to go to a dance or go back to whatever. And that is the Average White Band. They have two songs, Pick Up the Pieces and Cut the Cake. How more appropriate can you have two songs by one artist that covers the genre that we're talking about? Average White Band, Cut the Cake, and Pick Up the Pieces.
Oh, those are awesome, Sam. Thank you so much. So now we know in weddings that one of the biggest genres is country. I've had couples who say, I don't want any country in my wedding, but what happens? Their first dance is a country song, their father-daughter dance, their mother-son dance, and even the anniversary dance. And the reason country artists make the best songs for those particular parts of the wedding. So there's things like Bless the Broken Road by the Rascal Flatts. You have Blake Shelton, God Gave Me You From the Ground Up by Dan and Shay. And Thomas Rhett, an awesome song, Die a Happy Man. And then, of course, Best Friend by Tim McGraw. And then Alison Krauss, what a classic song, When You Say Nothing at All. And let's not forget Hunter Hayes. That young man came out with a great song called Wanted. So there's other country songs. Do some research. If you're a country lover, you're really going to find some good stuff out there that you could use.
All good songs, Sal. Coming up next, cake cutting songs that are sentimental and romantic, along with some more modern and upbeat songs for you.
This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam, a podcast for engaged couples concerned about wedding planning and family expectations, but who want a stress-free, fun, and unforgettable wedding.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is brought to you by Emerge Cosmetics. Are you ready to emerge? Our line of lipsticks, lip glosses, and mascaras was created to empower and become who you truly are. Strong, beautiful, and confident. Use the coupon code SF1 at emergecosmetics.com for an instant 10% off. That's coupon code SF1 at emergecosmetics.com. Emerge is the true you.
On today's Wedding Tip Wednesday, it's a DIY tip. If you're doing DIY, why not host DIY parties with your friends and family, people you know? Just have a party. It can be helpful. Things like flowers, centerpieces, and other decor items or backdrops.
Keep in mind that when you're doing that DIY party, you can have a few drinks, but don't have too many because you want to make sure everything goes together and it's going to work smoothly for your day. And that's another tip from Sal Sam.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is available on the Stress Free Wedding Planning Facebook group page every Wednesday. Join the group for free.
Are you ready to take your wedding business to the next level? Do you feel your marketing plan needs help? Then say I do to theclearvisionagency.com for improved online visibility and more bookings. Make your wedding business sparkle and get ready to see real results. The Clear Vision Agency can create a picture-perfect online presence for your wedding business with our SEO, social media management, content, and digital advertising programs. TheClearVisionAgency.com. Call us today to claim your free digital audit and let's see how your business stacks up against the competition. Go to TheClearVisionAgency.com.
And now back to the Stress Free Wedding Planning Podcast.
Hi, I'm Sal from After Hours Events New England, the leader in making your wedding stress-free. Check us out on the web at afterhoursevents.com.
Hi, I'm Sam from Atmosphere Productions, wedding entertainment with expert knowledge and the difference in quality. Visit us at atmosphere-productions.com. So we've already discussed some cake-cutting songs that are classic and timeless. We explained to you about the Foundations, Build Me Up, Buttercup, Maroon 5, Frank Sinatra's Love and Marriage, and the Arches, Sugar Sugar, Michael Bublé's How Sweet It Is. There was a whole host of songs. So if you didn't listen to the first half, go back, listen to it, because you'll get some classics right there. Now, let's do some romantic and sentimental. This one is relatively new, John Legend, All of Me. It's becoming to be a very popular cake-cutting song. Now, Elvis Presley, Can't Help Falling in Love. It fits into the classic genre, but there are alternative versions. Kinnah Grennis's version or Ingrid Michaelson's or Haley Reinhardt, any one of those versions are great. And I think many of our modern couples are actually picking those versions as opposed to the traditional or classic Elvis Presley's version. Now there's Jack Johnson, Better Together. Love that song. 1,000 Years, Christina Perri is also a good choice. But if you pick the violin string quartet to do 1,000 Years Junior Ceremony, I would not suggest then doing Christina Perri's version for the cake cutting. Let's try and break it up a little bit. Ed Sheeran has a song called Thinking Out Loud. I'm sure you've heard it. There's also a reggae version of it that's been remixed also by Ed Sheeran. Very difficult to get a hold of, but if you go on YouTube, you might be able to find it. It is, again, another great version to be used for the cake cutting.
Now, last but not least, modern and upbeat. Let's talk about Sweet Creature by Harry Styles. Stuck With You by Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber. Everyone loves Justin and Ariana, right? And then, of course, we have Bruno Mars, Marry You. So here's another song that may not be considered appropriate because if you go by the lyric, it makes it sound like you did something dumb and you got married. So do you really want that to be the tone at your wedding? So something to consider. Best Day of My Life, an awesome song by American authors. And of course, Ray LaMontagne, You Are the Best Thing. That's another great song to play. Any other additions you may have, Sam?
Now, of course, there is. The song that you missed and that I love, that should be on everybody's list, is the great Four Tops. Sugar Pie Honey Bunch, I Can't Help Myself. It's perfectly made for a cake cutting song. So if all else fails, please, please, please pick the Four Tops. I Can't Help Myself. We just picked out for you some great cake cutting songs. Now, remember, the cake cutting song is to be used as background. It is not the forefront of the event. Now, sometimes you might want to be talked through how to cut the cake and feed each other, but that's fine. But the music should be as a background. I've had some clients that just want the music played and they do whatever they want to do. And I've had clients just do the cake cutting for just a few seconds and then move on. However you do it, have some background music there, because Always remember, early planning makes for the best results and makes everything so much more stress-free. So there you have it. We just shared with you insider tips about choosing the perfect wedding cake cutting song. Enjoy your wedding planning.
Now, as you spend the next week planning your wedding, if you want me, Sam, or our community of stress-free engaged couples and wedding experts to answer any wedding-related questions, join us over in the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group.
Once you're in, go ahead and share your concerns and worries, and we'll let you know if you're on the right track or if there's something we need to work on. The link to join us is in the show notes of this edition. Or go to Facebook and search for the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Community.
A new edition is released every Wednesday. Subscribe and get it first. Remember to do something nice for someone today. And if you can't, do something nice for yourself. We'll catch you then. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to this edition. If you've enjoyed what you've just heard, leave a review and share it with a friend or someone who would benefit from this information. Until next time, it's TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
The Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast is produced and copyrighted by Atmosphere Productions in association with After Hours Events of New England.
Sponsored in part by Clear Vision Productions and the Wedding Styles of Connecticut Wedding Show Series.